Do you eat, sleep, dream about anything related to eye care?
So do we. This is See What We See with Lauren and Martin. My name's Lauren Cashin.
And I'm Martin LeBeau. We want to share anything that's cool about eye care.
We want you to see what we see. So sit back and enjoy.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Martin. How are you?
I'm good. How about yourself, Lauren?
I'm doing great. Thank you. A little bit of a cough midwinter here, as usual.
I know, this is the time of the year.
Well, when it goes from plus 10 to minus 20 within 48 hours, what's your body to think?
I don't know. I'm actually lucky today because I'm somewhere a little warmer than you are. I'm in the executive summit in Austin, Texas. And so it's, mid-20s right now. So it's a little nicer than Ontario right now.
So I got to ask you, are you there with your luggage by any chance?
Yeah, if lucky enough for me this time, it followed me.
That's cool. And you're actually
so I'm not stuck with a winter jacket on and the heat.
Beautiful. Well, enjoy the summit. It's a wonderful event. So
Thank you.
We're back here today to talk with some great friends, Transitions, to carry on our series of podcasts with them. They're great supporters of opticianry. And it's great that we're going to talk to them. So what are we going to talk to them about? We've spoken to them a few times. So what's today?
And we haven't. There's always something new with them. I mean, this is a company that's always pushing the envelope. I mean, one thing that I always wanted to know a little bit more about them is that, well, we're honored to be invited to a lot of their events. We've been to Transitions Academy, and this past November, we were invited as well to Transition the Studio, which is a newer event for them. This was their second edition. It happened in Ottawa. So I want to ask them a little bit more about what differentiates those two events. Why do they put on those two events? And I guess who's the target for those events as well?
Mm-hmm. Well, let's not waste any more time. Why don't you introduce our guests for today?
Well, it's my pleasure to introduce you today, two ladies from Transitions Canada, Dayle Whitecross and Christine Zeggil. Welcome, ladies. How are you today?
Thank you. Very good. How are you?
We're great. Thank you very much.
Hi, Martin. Hi, Lauren.
Hey, ladies.
We're doing great. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for asking us.
Oh, thanks for joining us. Maybe we can start by having you introduce yourself a little bit and talking about your position with Transitions Canada. Christine, maybe we can start with you today.
Absolutely. Thank you. So as Martin said, I'm Christine Zeggil. I'm the National Key Account Executive for Transitions Optical here in Canada. So my role primarily is to manage and support all of the national key accounts across the country. That includes both independent channel and on the retail side. And I've been with the company in total almost 18 years.
Wow.
So I'm aging myself. But it's been a super fantastic and fun ride. I can't imagine doing anything else but working in this amazing optical industry. And, and I've met some amazing people along the way. And so, yes, very happy to be here and represent Transitions.
And how about yourself, Dayle?
So thank you. My name is Dayle Whitecross. I am a style influencer and a Transitions Canada Instagram influencer. So that's my role within Transitions Canada. And it's been an absolute pleasure. It's a lot of fun. I get to wear a lot of different transitions styles and show them off to the world and hopefully continue to influence everybody to just get out there and get their transitions lens.
That's excellent. Well, thank you again for joining us, ladies.
Where are we going to start here, Martin? I think where we could start is, we always hear about Transitions Academy, but Transition Studio is something that's relatively new. I always had the honor of attending last year, and it was really a cool event. And maybe you ladies can tell us what it's all about. And then in part of that explanation, maybe let people know what's the difference between a Transitions Academy and a Transitions Studio. So I don't know which one of you want to go first with that. Christine, you want to maybe start with that?
Sure, I can kick things off. So the Transition Studio event, it's really a unique train the trainer event. This year was the second consecutive year that we've held it. We held it in Ottawa at the Chateau Laurier. And so really what it is it's really focused on training the trainers, those people within their individual roles at their places of employment where they're responsible for, for training their peers and their colleagues. And so we gathered about 90 optical industry professionals together for a full day and really shared insights on obviously Transitions products, the technology, what we have available, but we really tapped into other things like market insights, trends, consumer buying patterns, that type of thing. Shared a lot of best practices amongst the colleagues that attended the event, because it also gives us an opportunity to learn from our partners when we gather them together. So that's really, an overview of what the studio event is. We ended the day with a celebratory dinner with a fashion show that my esteemed colleague Dayle actually participated in. I'll let her build on that a little bit. And then we had some dinner and music and dancing to end off the night. But it was a full day, one day only, more of a regional event. But when you compare that to Transitions Academy is a much larger event. Those of you that have been in the industry, whether a year or 25 years, most people have heard of Transitions Academy. And it's a 3-day event where we gather people together from all regions of across the world, South America, North America, Canada, Europe. We have keynote speakers. We share the latest and greatest information on our products, new product launches, marketing tools and resources. And we have a lot of fun as well at Transitions Academy. It's typically over the course of 3 days. And this year, Academy is actually taking place May 21st in sunny Orlando, Florida. So it gives us Canadians who obviously spend a lot of time in the colder temperatures an opportunity to head south and get a few days of warmth. That's something that we look forward to every year and that our partners look forward to attending as well.
And Dayle, you were presenting as well at the studio, if I remember properly, right?
Yeah, I was. And it was fantastic. We had such a great time presenting. I mean, the studio event was really there to show the attendees how ECPs can really impact consumers and to show them the resources available and show them how to use these new tools to accelerate their growth. So it was really exciting for me to get to be a part of that and to be helping my fellow eye care and eyewear enthusiasts get to know how to reach their consumers on the level that they need to be reached. So we really wanted to show ECPs how to impact their customers and their patients in the way that they want. So by introducing new tools, very interactive physical tools, very online tools, so that consumers are really getting to shop the way they want to shop, not the way we want them to shop, but the way they want to shop. And I have personally never been to Transitions Academy. Maybe this will be my first year this year. We can keep our fingers crossed. It's never quite worked out for me in the past, so I'm hoping that this year I'll get to go. I mean, it's huge. It's so massive. There's so many people and there's so many brand new ideas and innovations rolling around Transitions Academy. And I can only imagine, and from what I see online, it's just amazing and inspirational. And the Transition Studio event is far more intimate. So a lot more interaction with all different people throughout the eye care industry, and lots of collaboration, like lots of people working together and wanting to come up with really great solutions for eye care and eyewear. When we see each other as collaborators as opposed to competition, I feel like that's where real growth happens. And at the studio event, there is no gatekeeping. Like, we are there sharing ideas, and we're really trying to push this message forward of providing amazing eye care and amazing eyewear to everybody in the world, to the masses. So Transitions Lenses is just this perfect mix of being very fashionable and being a very functional product. So I think that's what makes the studio so exciting, is that collaboration.
You know, I had, like I said, the opportunity to go last year. Usually go to something and the speakers speak to us directly how to go back to our practices and take back what we've learned and engage our patients. But I found something was kind of cool with what you did, this whole concept of train the trainers, which I hadn't really thought about that. You know, you think about it, big corporations have getaways and they bring all the sales reps in, and that's your typical train the trainers. But when we arrived there and we realized we're the trainers. Now, you did have reps there and that. So, Christine, this whole train the trainers concept, I guess it's kind of obvious. Why would you go down that route? But maybe you can tell us a little bit about that whole concept and what you expect to get out of it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you're right. Train the trainers, and trainers can be different things to different people and different organizations, because not only do we invite people that are in roles within let's say their organization, where they're in a training and education role, but sales reps come too, because sales reps play, a big role in training our partners, our eye care professionals. And so this whole concept of training the trainers really provides us with an environment where we can arm our partners, our eye care professionals, with the tools, with the knowledge, with the resources to really take that back to their peers, to their team, share that knowledge so that they can be successful in their day-to-day work environments. And really, at the end of the day, our success is really based on our partner's success. So it really provides us that, huge opportunity to be able to share that knowledge on all things transitions, as well as I mentioned earlier, market trends, consumer behaviors, how consumers want to purchase products, where they want to purchase products, but all in an effort at the end of the day to ensure that our partners are successful, and it really contributes to the success of the overall optical industry.
You figure you got 90 people, so you have 90 trainers there. So as it goes out like crazy, like a big tree, and just it expands from there.
Well, and you bring up a good point, Lauren, because we had a commitment at this recent studio event that everybody that attended collaboratively committed to train over 13,000 people. So you can see how an event like this can really grow and expand and really help us to communicate that information to a much larger group than the group attending the event.
One of the cool things I thought that happened at the studio this year is that you guys made tables that had different types of trainers within that table. So you had association, you had sales rep, you had employment, and everybody's got different perspectives, right? And by having different perspective at the same table, instead of, let's say, 5 opticians, working together, you're able to collaborate a whole lot more and have different ideas that way. Do you know what came out of it? Do you have some statistics or some of the ideas that came out of those discussions?
Yeah, I mean, there were many ideas that came out of the discussion, and you do bring up a good point in terms of how we separated into different groups, depending on your role, depending on what you do within the industry, because people bring a different perspective to the table. So, for example, we had groups of lens manufacturer sales professionals that would collaborate, because their role is to really, again, understand their customers' needs and how can they help their eye care professionals become more successful. Then we would have corporate trainers sitting at another table from either a retailer or a buying group. We had marketing professionals. So depending on what group and where you sat within your respective organizations, really the key was to really understand and learn from each other. And then so that we can therefore turn around and help each other grow, understanding different perspectives and what side of the table that you sit on. So a lot of ideas were generated in terms of, how can we better understand and help our end user, our consumer, our patient when it comes to making eyewear purchase decisions. So, and Dayle, I know you probably have some insights in terms of, the different conversations as we moved around the table. But really, at the end of the day, it was about collaborating and learning from each other, because knowledge is power. And when we can bring people together to learn, I think that again, it just contributes to more success for all of us.
I found that having the different roles sitting at the table, people are experiencing different pain points along the way. So if you are, say, the marketing department, you're producing all this marketing information, why isn't it moving forward? Like, why, where are the sales, or what's the sticking point? Why aren't the reps handing it out? Or you have, a rep that is trying to impart the information onto an eye care professional and trying to learn what is their hesitation for providing product or for making the offer. And to have us all together talking about it and sharing ideas, I think that made it clear. It makes the pathway to the consumer so much clearer, and where we need to solve problems and how we can come together to make sure that we're imparting good, helpful information all the way down the line that eventually gets to that consumer or that patient, so that they can make those really great, really well-informed decisions about their eyewear.
There's a couple of key words that you ladies have mentioned and Lauren mentioned as well, and it's consumer behavior, patient behavior. And obviously that's very trendy right now. That's something that's important, how to analyze that. I mean, Lauren owns an optical store, has been on the floor for a long time. I've been on the floor for just a couple of years as well myself. And we have our own way of analyzing our own client. But how does a big company like Transition does consumer behavior for Canada, the States, North America, South America, Europe? How can you collect all that data, all that info? How do you do it?
So we do it a number of different ways. And we do conduct a lot of research. I mean, that really to us gives us the insights that we need in order to offer the best products. So we do it different ways. We conduct wear studies, to really understand what consumers want in a product, how they want to buy product, where they want to buy product. A big trend that you're going to see now, and as we head into this year and beyond, is this online, offline purchasing. So consumers today, and we may all know this, about 81% of consumers conduct their research online before they actually come in to purchase a product. And so knowing this also enables us to ensure that we're communicating what we need to communicate about our product to eye care professionals, so that they're armed with the knowledge, knowing that their consumer is going to come into their clinic or their practice already fairly educated on the products that they have available. And so when they're purchasing products online first, there's a trend where this online, offline, so they may start the purchase online, and then they'll come in and visit your clinic, your store, your practice, and they'll complete that purchase in store. And we're seeing this in other industries as well, but it's definitely something that we're seeing within the optical industry. But when you look at automobile companies like Mazda or Tesla, consumers will go online and they'll start to build their own personalized car, and then they'll come in and visit a dealership and they'll finish the purchase. So we're seeing that a lot in the optical industry as well. And I think that that's something that's going to continue as we move forward.
And Dayle, maybe as a influencer, you probably have a different perspective on this completely, right?
Well, what I see is that Transitions gathers information, is in a constant state of gathering information, and they really, truly listen to their consumers. They make the changes where the changes are necessary. I mean, I feel like a great example is, the public was saying, well, one of the big feedbacks is, oh, well, Transitions maybe takes too long for me. I don't want to have that product. Well, out comes Gen 8 product, and we've solved the issue just like that. And so, with their continually listening to the needs, and it becomes really obvious when you see the portfolio that's available. We need something trendy and young. Well, out come the style colors. We need it to move really fast. Well, out comes Gen 8. I mean, all of these products reflect how good at listening to the consumer Transitions is. So, and that's just product based. And then just like Christine was saying about listening to how consumers behave within a store and how people are interested in shopping. I mean, that consumer journey has been something that is talked about, has been talked about for a really long time. But I mean, we've always kind of talked about it in a linear way where, a patient comes in and they become aware of a product, and then there's these steps along the way, but it's less linear now, and it's more like a circle where consumers may have awareness before they ever walk into the eye care professional's store. And so their awareness is there. Now they just need to have all of the rest, like the conversion. They need to just be able to know that the product available is going to meet their needs. Transitions is great at analyzing that kind of consumer behavior and help our eye care professionals be good at guiding their customers and their consumers and their patients through that customer journey.
So Dayle, listening to you, I'm thinking of, because we were talking about this consumer behavior, and you're an influencer. And when I look at, I've been going to transitions and selling transitions since, when transitions came out. And I see how they obviously study consumer behavior, because the engagement with the customer online, on the commercials, we've noticed over the last few years, they were starting to be aimed more at a younger crowd, actually. And I see that as almost you taking what we were commenting on over the years, saying we were having trouble selling transitions to younger people. We didn't know why, because you say, why don't you want them? And they would, I don't know, they'd sit there with the parent. And obviously, all of a sudden, we saw this new trend in the way transitions is being promoted. It's it's hip, the music was different. As an influencer, what do you do? What do you say? How do you get people interested? The market is so vast now. We sell transitions to whether they're younger people, middle-aged people, seniors like myself, right? So that's a pretty big market. How do you advertise everybody at once? So as an influencer, what do you do to push transitions and let people know how great they are?
Well, I think that influencers play a huge role in promoting transitions to the public in their own little spheres. So, whether you have thousands and thousands of followers and you're reaching a lot of people, or whether you're reaching people within, a fairly inner circle, the general public likes to take advice from people they trust, not necessarily giant advertisements and they feel that big companies are trying to tell them what to buy. They trust people within their inner circle. And so I think it's really smart that Transitions has taken on a number of influencers, all over the world, but specifically in Canada, there's a number of influencers that really make an impact in bringing that youthful, stylish, that fashion back to lenses. So the people that are, for example, following me see that the photos I'm taking are of beautiful colors and really interesting, very customized frames and lenses. They can see that there's a lot of options out there for glasses, that you don't just have to pick one thing, that Transitions isn't just for one demographic. It's literally for everybody. And the colors, the style mirrors has really helped rocket Transitions into a much younger demographic. And you can also see just with celebrity influence, celebrities are wearing tinted lenses, Transitions lenses. I was just watching a program with Jordan Peele, pretty famous comedian and director, wearing a pair of glasses in an interview that I'm pretty sure they were transitions polarized, because I could just tell by the little bit of tint that was in those lenses. So you just see how that influence helps spread the message that transitions is truly for everybody.
Well, I've got an influencer for you guys. My 95-year-old mother, I have her in transitions because with her walker, she has two hands on that and can't switch to her sunglasses when she leaves the building.
I love it.
Transitions knocks it out of the park for her.
Perfect. So
That's
happy.
amazing. And what color does she wear, Lauren?
I've got her in brown this time.
Nice.
Nice.
We don't have anything too fancy, but she's in brown, matches her frame, has some gold pieces to it. And also, we find that for some people who are having vision problems, that we lean more towards the browns and those colors for enhancing their vision. You know, it acts as a filter. So it's not just fashion and comfort, but it actually acts as a filter.
Yeah, it's great for contrast, right? So
Yeah,
that's the perfect way to go. I guess I'm going to jump on too. Now, as an influencer, Dayle, your job is to know about the upcoming trends or even creating some trends. So what do you see the trends are going to be for 2023?
Well, there's some pretty big predictions for this
Okay.
coming year, as far as frame styles and frame colors and materials and eyewear. What I'm seeing right now is that everybody, it's sort of style yourself. Everything's in style right now, which I love. I find that I would say the thing I'm most excited about is the colors. I like all of the different colors that are coming in this year. We're seeing really bright colors. We're seeing lots of bold colors and bright colors coming into subtle accents in frames. But that leans into using contrasting colors with your transitions lenses or complementary colors with your transitions lenses. So what I'm seeing is people are utilizing lenses as a fashion element within their frame style element. So mixing the two together and coming up with something that's truly bespoke, that is really customized to what they want to look like and how they're portraying themselves. And I mean, we're really in this anything goes styling where people are figuring out what they like and running with it. And it includes styling your lenses.
I so agree with you. I mean, there's so many different opportunities right now, especially with all the different type of coloring that's available with the frames, the metal frames, the plastic frame, the combination. We've known Christine for a few years. She's always super stylish. I mean, what is the trend that you're most excited about, Christine?
Like Dayle said, I think, at the end of the day, you can really tap into your own personal style. Frames that I like, I love big frames. I like frames that make a statement, but I want to have fun with my eyewear too. Like our eyewear is a reflection and an extension of our personalities and of ourselves. And I think that we can have a lot of fun choosing frames and matching them with, transitions colors that maybe you wouldn't necessarily match together, maybe contrasting frame colors and transitions lenses. So I'm most excited about, like Dayle said, just, creating a unique pair of glasses that really aligns with your personality and how you want to be portrayed or how you want to portray yourself. So have fun. At the end of the day, have fun with your eyewear.
Cool. So transitions is big on education. I've noticed that over the years, whether it's studio, Transitions Academy. I know on the OOA website, we have some transitions education certification there that opticians can take. So what other education is there available from transitions? You have plans for things in the future? What can we do to expand our knowledge?
Absolutely. So beyond Academy, as you said, events like our studio event, our team can provide one-on-one trainings or webinar trainings to groups, but we also have an amazing program called the Transition Certification Program. And we want to make it easy for eye care professionals to receive that information from us. And so the certification program is an online program, and it consists of 4 different modules that talk about light, that talk about eye protection, that talk about obviously transitions. But the great thing about it is they're 15-minute modules. And so it allows our partners to take that information and to complete those modules on their own time, when they're able to. And at the end of the completion of all 4 modules, you become a transition specialist. And then the fun part about this program is if there are more than 3 people within a practice or a store that complete the certification program, then that particular location becomes a certified provider. And when you're a certified provider, then that provides additional benefits. So you're highlighted on our ECP locator. So again, another resource, another way that we can support our eye care professional partners. So when one of their patients goes online to search where they can buy transitions, that particular location is highlighted. So we're driving patients, we're driving consumers into those specific locations because those are the locations that are deemed experts on all things transitions. So that's a great, easy, accessible way for our partners to receive information and training on transitions if they aren't able to get to events like the studio or attend Academy, or if they aren't able to attend any of the association events. So we're always updating the information as well. So as we launch new products, as we come up with new technology, we'll continue to update that information so that it's accessible for everybody.
And another part as well, from your training that you guys provide, or maybe some of the research as well. Well, maybe I should say that Lauren and I were honored to have a podcast as well with Isabelle Tremblay and Dr. Essence Johnson back at Transitions Academy, and it was about diversity, equality, and inclusion. And I know this is a big topic for you guys at Transitions. And from what I learned last time is you guys were continuing towards that part of educating people that way. Is there more that we're expecting in 2023 from Transitions that way?
Yeah, so we started our initiative on diversity in 2022, and we held a roundtable discussion with a number of different eye care professionals, both optometrists, opticians, industry professionals, really to understand different ethnic cultures so that we can better serve the needs of patients within these different cultures and ethnicities. And so we will continue to tap into those resources and understand what types of eye conditions and potential issues do certain demographics deal with versus other demographics, so that we can better, again, it's all in an effort to better serve and better understand our patients, so that we can arm our partners with that information. So yes, we will continue that effort, and we will build and expand upon that, and we'll be sharing more information throughout 2023 on how our partners can continue to tap into that and utilize and leverage that information.
And that's great, because I think it's a great topic. It's a conversation that's not always easy to have, but I think it's a necessity to have those conversations. And you guys don't just talk the talk; you guys walk the walk as well. And Dayle probably can talk to us a little bit about this as well, because you were part of a fashion show at the studio. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about the fashion show that you were part of.
I was so honored, and I feel so proud to be able to represent my friends who have a clothing and design house called Ilalem. They are Indigenous ladies that live in Nanaimo, British Columbia on Vancouver Island. And they started utilizing traditional Coast Salish designs to create fashion that is wearable for Indigenous and non-Indigenous alike. So making sure we're bridging those gaps. And myself, I am an Indigenous person, and it felt so good to be able to support this Indigenous run business, and the fact that Transitions also supports them and their use of Transitions lenses in the styling of their fashions. I felt incredibly honored to be part of the fashion show. Another first for me walking the runway, but it was amazing and it was uplifting. And Transitions is a huge supporter of all the different cultures and diversity around the world. So it was exciting to be a part of that.
And I have to say, all the ladies that participated in the fashion show, you ladies were just gorgeous. The colors, everything was just on point. And the young gentlemen, I believe they were the ladies' sons.
Yes.
They were wearing those suits. I mean, they were standing out. They looked fantastic. Really well done
Right
as
in
well.
with it too, Martin. As I just held up in the camera here, I've got my cleaning cloth.
That's right.
You do.
We were given from Lalum. Is that how you pronounce it?
Ilalem, yes.
Ilalem. And I just happen to have it in my pocket today of my many beautiful cleaning cloths. So yeah, it's great that Transitions, just like Martin says, you walk the walk. It's great corporate citizens helping out, not just eye care professionals, but just humanity in general. So it's wonderful. So what else do we want to talk about? Do we have anything we want to add, ladies? We've talked about studio, talked about going forward a little bit. Martin?
Well, we talked about, this is the beginning of 2023. It's always exciting. There's always new things coming. I mean, maybe you guys give us the biggest piece of advice for eye care professionals for 2023. What do you guys see that's going to happen? And, put it out there. We'll start with you, Dayle.
So my biggest advice to every eye care professional, to all of the reps out there, to everybody that is sort of passing this training on down the line, my biggest advice is you have to make the offer. You just simply have to make the offer. You have to enthusiastically talk about transitions with every single patient. If you can speak to the product with enthusiasm, like it's a foregone conclusion that your glasses are going to come with Transitions, and that the only decision left to make is what color to choose or what benefits you want from these lenses. I just think that will improve eye care professionals' businesses, for one, but it improves the lives of the customer and the patients wearing them. We all know that there is an incredibly loyal base of consumers that continuously repurchase Transitions over and over. So not only is it a good business choice, we know it's what customers and consumers and patients, we know it's what they want. So my advice to everybody is use the tools available and just make the offer. People will tell you that they want it and you can move forward, but just it's up to you. You just have to make that offer.
Christine?
I honestly couldn't say it better than Dayle. I mean, along the same lines, absolutely. Understand your patient or your customer's needs and don't prejudge. I think, we need to get into the habit of offering these products. And when you understand your patient's needs, then you know that offering Transitions to everyone, there's going to be a product or a technology for everyone, whether it's a style color, whether it's our style mirrors, whether it's our extra active products. When you understand their needs, when you understand their lifestyle, offering Transitions really does enhance not only their eyewear purchase, but it gives them a product that they're going to be happy with. Dayle touched on this, but the satisfaction rate of people that purchase Transitions is 90%, and people that actually it's 95% of people that have been in Transitions will repurchase Transitions again. So we've got a very loyal group of people that have been wearing Transitions for a very long time. But there's a large group of consumers and patients out there who have yet to try Transitions. And why not offer it to everyone and give them something that, really, again, makes it fun. Put some fun into their eyewear choices by offering them, frames and lenses and really helping them create something that's unique for them.
Well, that's excellent. And maybe one more thing, just from my own curiosity, we talked about Transitions Academy earlier. What if some of our ECPs might be interested in participating at Transitions Academy? Where can they find more information, or how can they possibly participate?
So there are different ways that ECPs can participate. So depending on, they can talk to their lens supplier reps, because there are a number of different programs that are available in order, incentives that have been created for them to be able to participate and attend the event. Another big thing that we do at Transitions, which I didn't mention earlier, it's really integral in terms of what we do to recognize our partners, is our innovation awards. And this is a huge opportunity for our eye care professional partners. It really gives them an opportunity to showcase all of the incredible things that they do to incorporate transitions into their business throughout the year. And so the Innovation Awards, what eye care professionals can do is submit to us really an overview of all the things that they've done, whether it's training, whether it's promotions that they've run throughout the year, offers that they've made within their practices or their clinics. And they submit this to us as an Innovation Award submission, and they go in front of a judge, and we actually recognize all of the key partners for all of the efforts that they do. And then at Academy, that's where we have a huge celebration. And it's an event where we recognize all of their efforts, and we award our eye care professionals for best in class for the programs that they've done. So we have Eye Care Professional of the Year Award. We have the Retailer of the Year Award. We have Best in Marketing. We have Best in Training. So I really encourage all of our eye care professionals to get involved in submitting an innovation award to us. And that's an amazing way to be able to attend our event as well. And I know Dayle has something to add to that too.
I do. So if you're interested, if any of our eye care professionals are interested in the more influencer side of transitions, there is a program that you can apply to become a transitions change agent. And that involves a lot more of the social media aspects of transitions and being sort of the lead within your own practice and your own office. And you can always ask your lens provider representative or to send you more information on how to become a change agent within your own practice.
Well, we covered a lot of ground here today. And, talking about studio is great. It just shows again, transitions, you're a player. You're a leader in our industry. And we love that you listen to not only consumers, but you do listen to eye care professionals. And, if you dream it, you can do it type of thing. And we would always say, why couldn't we have a transitions that does this? And as Dayle said, yes. And all of a sudden, there it is. So, that's, again, one of the beautiful things about going to Transitions Academy and that, to see what's coming next and to help us to go back and be leaders in our own right within our own practices and that, and spread the good word. And if you've been to, again, Transitions, you mentioned about the awards, to show how people are so dedicated and so emotional about these awards. I remember the first time I went to Transitions, that might have been 14 years ago. You'd swear these people won the Academy Award, eh?
Absolutely.
Up on that stage, the crying, the jumping up and down. So it really shows how Transitions it's so well respected and made such an impact on the industry. And as someone in the industry for many, many years, I want to thank you. And I also want to thank you guys for coming on our podcast again. It's a pleasure to have you guys. Hey, Martin, it's one of our favorites to have our friends from Transitions come.
It's always great to have you ladies on. And I'm actually looking for the next one. And hopefully we can do it at Transitions Academy live and for our next podcast with you guys.
There's an ask for an invitation.
I think that was not it, but arrange something. No, but seriously, it was a pleasure for us to be part of this podcast. It was a lot of fun, and so thank you for giving us the opportunity to chat with you today. We really appreciate it, and we do look forward to the next one at Transitions Academy.
Yes, thank you so much. It was really great to meet you both, and I am always just excited to be part of the gang here. So thank you for inviting me on this podcast. It was really great.
Well, thank you so much, ladies. And again, all the best, and we'll talk real soon.
All the best for 2023. Take care.
That's right.
Same to you, gentlemen. Take care.
Well, Martin, that was enlightening once again.
It always is. I always learn something on these podcasts. Eh?
Yeah, and today we had Christine, who we haven't had interviewed before. We've had others from Transitions, and we also had Dayle, who's an influencer. And I always find it interesting to speak to influencers.
This is the first time we actually had an influencer on our podcast, I believe.
That's right. That's right.
So it's a different perspective. It's nice.
Yeah, for sure. We usually were talking to opticians or people directly from the company and that. But I thought it was good. And just like in the opening, you were mentioning, you'd love to know the difference between an academy and a studio, and they did describe it. And they told us why they did the two different events, and the goals are different in the two different events also. And a big takeaway I had from that Dayle said in one of her closing remarks was that we should always talk about transitions. I think back at my very first Transitions Academy, I don't know, it was, let's say 14 years ago. And I used to, offer transitions here and there. I went back and I offered it to every patient after that. And true to form with what they said, it's amazing how many people go for transitions if you just offer it and tell them what the benefits are, because the benefits are vast. It's not just fashion, it's protection, it's comfort. So it's cool that they present that in different venues and give us different ways to convey that message.
I totally agree with you. And I mean, I'm hooked personally. I've worn transitions for years. I went through the lens that take a little bit longer to change, or didn't change enough. And, they just keep getting better and better. And I don't have a pair of glasses. I don't have them anymore. They're so versatile. I know they're good for the health of my eyes as well. And they're cool. I mean, with all the new colors and all the colorful frame, I like to wear colorful frame, you know that. So with all the different colors, you can just really make it your own. And like Dayle and Christine were saying, nowadays people make their own style, and that allows you to do that.
And from the vision standpoint, again, like yourself, I've been wearing transitions for many, many years. And I always got great transitions, great product, but great transitions. And as I've gotten older, I've realized, as my vision isn't quite what it used to be, that we can use the transition colors as filters. So now I have gray, but I have brown, and my latest pair are green, which really help me on my walks in the early morning and at dusk. So it's really works as a great filter to enhance vision too. So we all wear them for different reasons. And it just makes life that much better. And it's like they say, transitions right in any light, but it's not just the darkness, it's the colors that enhance and are a fashion tool.
Absolutely. And performance as well. I mean, I wear their polarizing extra active transitions when I play golf, and they're fantastic. Honestly, they're great. But I guess the proof is in the pudding, like they say. So you should go out there and actually try a pair yourself. And I'm pretty sure you're going to like it. I'm actually almost guaranteeing that you're going to like it. So, but that's just me, I guess.
Yeah, well, Martin, it's great to see you again. Great that we can do this, even though you're half a continent away from me right now, but we still got to do our podcast. So I love it. So I hope you have learned a lot, bring back some information, and update me on what's going on in the industry. Enjoy your time there. And don't forget to try some of them prairie oysters.
I've done that before. Actually, I didn't mind them. So I will do it again. That's not a problem for me. But it's always great to get together, Lauren. And it's, again, thank you so much to Transitions Canada for being part of our podcast today. Thank you, Dayle. Thank you, Christine. You ladies were amazing. And looking forward, again, to our next podcast, Lauren. Thank you so much. And till next time.
Till next time, Martin.
Thank you for listening to See What We See. This podcast is brought to you by the Ontario Opticians Association. For more information or to become a member, go to our website at www.ontario-opticians.com. For all the latest updates, follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Ontario Opticians Association, on Twitter, OOA_Frontline, and on LinkedIn, Ontario-Opticians-Association. Don't miss an episode of See What We See and subscribe to this podcast on your favorite streaming service. Thank you from the Ontario Opticians Association, the voice of opticians for 75 years.